So I recently finished playing the Yakuza franchise. Finally, I got from Yakuza Kiwami 1 all the way to Yakuza 6. I played Yakuza 0 for a long time and I explored a lot of that game. And I also played Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon. But in these videos I will focus on my experience playing the franchise from Yakuza Kiwami 1 all the way to Yakuza 6 for the very first time. I will make a video for each game. I thought I could make like 1 or 2 videos for the entire franchise, but I think each game deserves a proper amount of time. And I don't want to really make these videos too long, like half an hour or an hour. It's just too much. I will rather have each video be like 10 minutes or 15 at most. Although expect the Yakuza 5 video to be really long because that game is massive. These are just my thoughts after playing the games for the very first time. I didn't explore them that much. I didn't do much of the side content, except for Kiwami 1 and Kiwami 2. I think I did a decent amount of sub-stories. But from Yakuza 3 onwards, I didn't do much, I just rushed the story. So let's start with Kiwami 1. So the story. The story is good. I feel like the Yakuza series is such a good prequel that makes the story of Yakuza Kiwami 1 much better. I like the plot. You know, Jingo, the 10 billion yen. I think it was 10 billion yen, right? Yeah, the 10 billion yen. And honestly, all the characters were good. Date was introduced, Yuta and Kazuki also very good secondary characters. Finally, I got to see Majima being the crazy mad dog of Shimano that he actually is in the franchise. It was interesting, like seeing how Nishikiyama evolved from being the good guy, the sworn brother of Kiryu, from being that guy to be Kiryu's rival. He being tired of always being treated like a shadow of Kiryu. People around him telling that he's not as good as Kiryu. So I think the cutscenes that show the evolution of Nishikiyama, they were introduced in the remaster. Sorry, in the remake. They weren't originally in Yakuza 1, and they added a lot. I think the story feels shorter, I would say. I don't know. It's mainly because there's only one character instead of 2. It's only one character, and yeah, but there's still like what, 12 chapters, I think. The pacing of the story was good, I think. We got the Kiryu slapping Haruka moment. Was okay, fine, and it was sad seeing a lot of the characters that you meet in Yakuza 0 dying in Yakuza Kiwami 1. You have Kazama dying, you have Reina dying, Nishikiyama also dies. It was sad. It was sad. But I kinda get the reason behind those very close people to Kiryu dying. It's kinda like their deaths further link Kiryu and Haruka. Kashiwagi is still there, but a lot of I think what Kiryu considered his family circle just dies, like it's gone. It's sad. The enemies, Jingu, he was introduced like in the middle of the story. But yeah, it was a good enemy. I mean, I I think like a good enemy is the one that you actually want to beat, that you want to get to fight him. And Jingo's fight is Jesus. It's a hell of a fight with his two elite bodyguards. Jesus, it's complicated. And how the sort of plot unfolds, you know, with Shimano actually working with a faction of the Yomi Alliance, I think it is, and Chinese Flower Triad. It was also interesting. Like, okay, it's just not. It wasn't like so simple of a plot, but also it was understandable. It was good. So I really like the story. Like I said before, I did get to do some of the side content. Overall, I would say Yakuza Kiwami 1 has a little bit less of side content, and I mean it's only one map. It's just Kamurocho. You don't have two maps like in Yakuza 0. So yeah, and the combat system. So it was basically Yakuza 0's combat system. Not much of changes, probably more balancing some abilities, one combat style being nerfed. I didn't like the additions that they tried to implement in Kiwami 1, the Kiwami heat moves, I think they were called. You know, that moment where a boss just starts glowing of certain color, then you have to switch to the combat style to match the color, and then press the hit action button, so you can do like a Kiwami extreme hit action move. I didn't like that. I like the hit action itself. It was good. I didn't like how the boss was just healing a lot. I didn't like that. By the end of the game, the bosses were healing just too much, and it was annoying. It was forcing you to stick to one combat style for each boss, sort of a thing. I didn't like that. I do understand where it comes from. I think it comes from a Yakuza 5 mechanic. I will talk about that mechanic when I touch Yakuza 5, but yeah, I think it comes from there, but it's just bad implemented, I think. And Majima Everywhere, it's the other addition, not to the combat mechanics itself, but it's like it's very linked to the combat in Kiwami 1. At least when you go on through the streets, just moving to one place to the other. Majima Everywhere was fun. It was fun and up to the middle of the game, I would say. At that moment, I was already getting like, okay, enough upgrades on the other combat styles, and I didn't like too much the Dragon combat style, so I was just using Rush or Brawler. I think there was a need for a button or maybe an item to disable Majima Everywhere, because by the end of the game, if Majima got into a fight that you were having with a random NPC on the streets, well, Majima adds twice as much time. Like, it just prolongs the fight too much. It was dumb. While recording some fights for this video, I had the thought of trying Tiger Drop. I didn't use it while I was playing Kiwami 1 for the first time, but while recording I started to use it, and it's just so stupidly strong. And these were my first impressions about Kiwami 1. They're probably going to change once I do my legend run and I get to do all the side content that I didn't do in my first run. Thank you for watching, and see you all in the next video.
Shut your